everyone. We're just going to review a comic book movie. It's going to be DC's Justice League Throne of Atlantis.
For those of you who don't know, that's the storyline of showing you how Aquaman learned that he was an Atlantean.
Yes, it's the continuation of the new animated film series of the New 52 series that they've been doing. First was, they fought Darkseid, which was an amazing movie. I mean, if people don't give DC movies enough credit, well, their animated department should get all the credit in the world because they make up. Every single DC animated movie makes up for all the bad live-action movies.
Yeah, DC is definitely on their animated shit right now.
Yeah, they're very faithful to the comics that they're portraying. They don't hold back on gore. If the comic story is gory, they show it. The characters are there, the voice acting, the animation, everything's always top-notch when it comes to these animated films. And this one is it's pretty much on par with all the rest of them.
It stays true to that formula.
Yeah.
The voice acting is well done. Everyone still fits their character.
Yes.
So same voices as
Same voices from Justice League War, so everyone is still that person. The voice casting is done by Andrea Romano, who's done DC animated voice acting since Batman the Animated Series. So she's still doing it. So she makes sure she gets the top notch for everyone there.
I mean, yeah, you got Nathan Fillion, you got Sean Astin. They're all big top actors.
Right, Rosario
Dawson. All of them are very well-known actors that fill in their parts pretty much perfectly.
The movie-wise, it's pretty faithful to the comic books. DC tends not to stray too far from their source material, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's one thing to read something, and then it's a whole other thing to see it animated. And DC does not disappoint in that department at all.
The only way they stray sometimes, once in a while, is they'll add a different character to it just to switch it around a little bit.
Aquaman he doesn't know he's Aquaman yet. He's basically living in a lighthouse after his father died. There's pretty much a civil war going on in Atlantis. Whether or not they want to attack the humans because the humans are too reckless. Aquaman has to find out who he is, and the Justice League have to get in contact with Aquaman to try to basically put an end to this civil war before it spreads out into the normal world. For an overall story, it's not the best.
Well, I mean,
the Darkseid thing was a little more. It felt like it had a little more at stake.
You start strong with Darkseid,
yeah,
and then as the comics is, because the first 6 issues are Darkseid, and then you go into the Aquaman story. It's a little hard for people to adjust to, but mostly because it's hard to portray Aquaman in that light where people are excited to see Aquaman because everyone has this pre-notion of Aquaman already. So
everyone thinks Aquaman's the wimp of the Justice League. And
he gets made fun of it no matter what it is. Everyone says he's the worst Justice League member. I mean, this movie does, I'm not gonna say goes out of its way to show Aquaman is amazing, but this movie does do justice to Aquaman and the Aquaman.
Yeah, he wasn't bad at all. I mean, Aquaman, was pretty badass for most of it. All of it actually, he was pretty badass. Character-wise, he was fine. When you start with such a world-changing thing like Darkseid on the planet, going to destroy the entire world, and then you go from that to just Aquaman, and you go from his family, and all that kind of stuff, and it's not as big, but you know what? It's still great.
Aquaman is good. The storyline, don't get me wrong. This Throne of Atlantis was a good storyline.
Continuity-wise, Darkseid did happen first in the 52. It's hard if you don't read the comic books and you don't care for the comics and you just care for the movies. It's hard to get invested into Aquaman after seeing Darkseid.
Exactly.
Because you're like, well, it's just Atlanteans. How much of a threat can they be
and you
compared to what Darkseid was?
Yeah, and I mean, even in the movie, it kind of seemed like the Justice League, you didn't really need them. You know what I mean? Darkseid, it made sense that they were all together and they were all fighting that big entity. But I mean, even in this movie, they weren't all together at all the times, and it seemed like you really didn't need all of the Justice League there to handle it. I mean, technically, it might have even been a better movie if it was just Aquaman by himself. If this was just a standalone Aquaman movie without the addition of everybody else's baggage, it might have been even a better movie to see him actually, come to grips with, becoming the king of Atlantis, you know what I mean?
Right. For just the movie, Flash is barely in it. Batman's barely in it. Because again,
Green Lantern's barely in it.
You're underwater. You really can't have those characters underwater. Because
exactly.
Batman and Flash are normal people that can't survive in that water.
Exactly.
So you're stuck with Superman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg. I mean,
and even
still a good chunk of the Justice League.
And even they don't really do much, though. Even Superman really didn't do much. Wonder Woman really didn't do much. Besides a couple fight scenes that happen outside. But, I mean, in my opinion, this might have just been better off as an Aquaman-only movie.
I like the things the movie did. I like that they touched on the Superman-Wonder Woman romance.
Yeah,
I like
a little
that.
bit.
I like they touched on that. I like, you know, the witty banter between Batman and Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I like that stuff. You know, Nathan Fillion, I think, does a great job as Hal Jordan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love Nathan.
I don't know why he's not Hal Jordan in live action, but you know,
what? He kind of looks like him too.
Nathan Fillion could be a lot of things in live action, but he just isn't.
I enjoyed the movie. I think DC does animated movies better than Marvel. They do mostly anything animated better than Marvel.
Yeah.
Even their shows are better than their animation shows.
They do better on a smaller scale. Well, I think Marvel puts all their big guns to the movies.
Right.
And they basically they look for the lower spectrum.
When was the last real good Marvel animated movie?
Planet Hulk? Planet Hulk?
Was the Hulk versus after that?
Planet Hulk was last
Planet Hulk.
I believe Planet Hulk is the last Marvel movie before Disney. DC's animated department, you know, they do it right. They do it and they do it well.
Very well.
I can't even. I don't think I can list.
And you know the thing is with them,
Well,
they do it quickly.
Yeah, they do turn them out like maybe every like 6 months.
Every 6 months, maybe sometimes 4 months.
I don't think they changed their team though since the animated series. That's why it just.
Well, the only person that left is Bruce Timm. Bruce Timm.
Yeah, he finally left.
Bruce Timm is gone. But other than that, you know, you still have
Andre
Romano, which is basically, I think, running
Yeah,
it.
that's basically.
And I think that's what makes it. I think the voice is what makes these characters.
Yeah,
stand
even
well.
the animation's good.
Right.
I like that they don't withhold. You know, even though it's animated, they don't withhold from the gore of everything. I love that.
Right,
I
there
love
are
that it's
scenes in this movie
visceral.
where Mara is just murdering people.
There are people literally getting chopped in half and heads coming off in this movie.
I wish the live action department could get on this animated kick here.
If only.
They can get on the same page and get the same stuff churning out.
If only.
Well, the only way they do that is if they get the right crew to do it and stick to storylines instead of changing things and making them not the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, this movie was very well done. From start to finish, I was engaged. I was interested. Even though I know the story, I'm still interested to see it play out. For me, this is definitely going to get like
An A?
yeah. Would you give it?
Yeah, I'd give it an A up there.
I'm on the line of probably like B plus with this one, to be absolutely honest with you.
Because of Dark Side?
Yo, no, well, it's not even that because it followed up Darkseid and that was so good. It just felt like if it was just Aquaman, it would be better. I feel like they kind of lost track of Aquaman because you have to have Batman, you have to have all the other Justice League members, and focus on them, and that just takes time away from actually developing Aquaman because it is technically his story.
Right.
So you really didn't need them taking that time. It would have been a lot better. It would have been a solid A if they had like him, you know, why his mom died and all that relationship. They don't really touch on his dad.
Well, it's hard to cram 6 issues, which is probably like 200 pages worth.
But it's a
into
lot.
an hour
It's a lot easier to do that when you don't have to worry about,
No, I agree.
we have to go get Flash. Now we have to go get Batman. We have to go get this. Wonder Woman is eating dinner with Superman, and you got to see all the blah. You know what I mean? Catching up with everybody, and the whole thing with Cyborg. And that takes more time, and I feel like that takes a little bit away from Aquaman.
They probably would have focused more because you only got to focus on 3 characters: Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman.
Or maybe if they even didn't show up till like half until Atlantis attacked. Like if it was just solely Aquaman dealing with it, and then when they attacked, and then the Justice League came, because we already know them. You don't need to establish who they are.
Right.
Then it would have been. I feel it would have been a little bit better. But although I would say B plus. But I mean, it was still amazing.
A, B plus. If you're definitely interested in to DC animated series or the movies, this is one to check out.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal job by the voice actors and the movie itself. We all pretty much loved it. If you guys, let us know what you guys think. If you guys liked it, if you guys love it, if you guys want to see it, let us know in the comments below.
And let us know if you want what other DC animated movies you might want to see in the future. I think what's the next one on the board?
Next one is Batman. It's called Batman vs. Robin, which is going to be based on the Court of Owls storyline.
Yep. So that will be the next one we'll be looking forward to, and we're definitely going to review when it comes out. And we'll see you next time.
Take care.
Ha-ha!